Hey friends, it's Jessica from Three Rivers Homestead, and I apologize. I do not have a weekly video prepared for you this week. I don't have a week in the life one done. Things have been pretty crazy around here lately, and so I don't have that video for good reason, and we'll get into that here. We have some big news here on the homestead, and I had some comments on my last video that had already guessed it, but I am pregnant and expecting our 8th baby. So if you guys have been following me for a while, you know that it's been kind of a rough year for us when it comes to pregnancy and babies. I have 7 living children, and last October we lost a baby at about 11 weeks gestation, and it was extremely heartbreaking. It was not our first pregnancy loss. We had lost a baby between Elizabeth and Levi about 7 years ago. We lost that baby at 13 weeks. So we were no strangers to the heartbreak of miscarriage. But we lost that baby in October, and then around the beginning of the year, we lost another baby at just 5 weeks. They consider that a chemical pregnancy. It's not technically miscarriage. You know, a pregnancy lost under 6 weeks is considered a chemical pregnancy. So it was kind of just as we were getting used to the idea of being pregnant again, it was over. And it was very sad in a different way than kind of the later first trimester pregnancy losses. So we had that chemical pregnancy, and then immediately following the next month, in February, we had another one, and the 3 losses in a row were pretty hard on us. It was a difficult season of my life. On top of that, around that time, we got COVID, so I was doing a lot of trying to heal my body physically and then dealing with COVID on top of it, and things were just pretty crazy around here. Hold on one second. All right, sorry about that. I set my camera up right in front of our glass sliding doors on the deck, and I had children out there making faces at me and wanting something, so I had to attend to them. So where was I? So the 3 consecutive losses had really shaken me, and I was starting to feel like I didn't want to endure this anymore. And Adam and I had sort of made the decision that we were going to be done having children, and due to faith-based reasons, we neither of us feel comfortable taking permanent measures for that, but we just do natural family planning, and we felt like that was something that we were going to do. And I had announced that on Instagram, that we were kind of done. I couldn't handle the heartbreak. I was very deep in my grief, and it was a hard period of my life. So in March, following that loss, as I mentioned, I was going through a lot. My hormones were all over the place. I was recovering from COVID, and my body was just not as normal as it usually is. And despite our best efforts to avoid pregnancy that month, the Bible says, you know, man makes his plans, but the Lord determines his steps, and God had other plans for us. So in the end of March, I discovered that I was pregnant, and I am due in December. So here we are now, nearing the end of the first trimester. We're about at the point where I have lost my other babies, and I would be lying if I didn't say that it has been a rough couple of months for all of us. Adam and I, you know, normally you get the news that you're pregnant, and it's very celebratory, it's very hopeful, exciting news, and coming on the heels of 3 losses, it was definitely not that for us. We both were sort of bracing ourselves for another loss, just feeling like it was inevitable. There was no celebration. There was fear and anxiety, and just a lot of that. And the anxiety was overwhelming at times. You know, as much as I believe I'm a woman of faith, this was something that it was very difficult for me to have faith that it was going to be okay, because I knew that it was in God's hands, and He may have a very good reason why it wouldn't be okay. And so I was just trying to rest in His will, but that fear was very overwhelming. And if you're someone who has, I'm sorry, I'm going to get emotional, I'm hormonal. If you're someone who has been through a pregnancy loss and then been pregnant again, you know what that's like. It is just a time of great fear, especially that first trimester. So then on top of it, I was battling nausea. And as you've noticed probably in the last a month's videos, you know, I think there was a week I had to skip. It's just been very difficult with my energy levels and nausea to do a lot of things. My routine is different. I'm not doing meal planning. There have been weeks where I've done zero cooking. Basically getting the garden planted was my goal of the last couple months, and that took every bit of extra energy I had other than, you know, caring for the children. All the non-essential stuff sort of got brushed aside, and I'm just kind of focusing on surviving and keeping, you know, this ship afloat and not falling apart. And, you know, some things have to fall apart. The laundry's piled up around here, and, you know, maybe it's a little more messy than it normally is, but I always tell myself in the second trimester I get a wave of energy and we will just deal with that then. So anyway, so that is the wonderful news. Lord willing, in December we will be welcoming our 8th baby to the family, and I'm kind of reaching a point now. We heard the heartbeat several days ago, last week, and that was a huge comfort to me in knowing that the baby is okay as of then. And I'm starting to feel like I can kind of relax a little bit and begin to celebrate this pregnancy. And I really wasn't interested in going through another public miscarriage like I did last October. I found great comfort in sharing that process with people, particularly on Instagram. It was kind of nice to have the support of everybody and to just be honest about what was happening. But I wasn't sure that I could do that again, and so I was fearful in announcing things. But I've kind of reached a point where whatever happens, I'm going to share. And so if you could join us in praying for this baby, that would be wonderful. But one of my points in bringing this up for you is just that hopefully you can hear me. My son is mowing right outside the window. Hold on a minute. So my point in bringing this up to you is I've had a really hard time in the last couple weeks coming up with content for you because I'm not doing a lot of kitchen work. I haven't been cooking much. The nausea's been pretty overwhelming, particularly this week, but last week was pretty bad too. I'm not canning, obviously. It's just not that time of year where canning happens. Mostly I'm just working in the garden and doing boring things around the house that aren't really worthy of documenting. So it's really hard for me to come up with content for you guys here. So bear with me here, and Lord willing, in the next couple weeks, I'll turn a corner and be feeling better. So that's all I have for you this week. I just wanted to share that exciting news, and Lord willing, next week I will be back with a video for you. And if I have the energy, hopefully it'll be something, some kind of content that you guys will find that, that will have value. So, all right, friends, that's it. We'll see you next week. Hopefully you're having a wonderful week. Bye.